Hello everyone, so this is sort of a personal ask since most people comment on my videos more than my post. But I'm just wondering, what do you guys honestly think of my SCPs? Of SCP-2445, Angel Boy, and SCP-2446/2445. It's like an alternate phase or still a work in progress, but basically a darker side of him. And SCP-2447, the Devil Boy, which is SCP-244's brother. You see, I've been wondering, are my SCPs worth the title of SCP or even belong in the Foundation? Because there are vast, many unique and different SCPs, some very dangerous, some very intelligent. I'm just wondering, do they belong in the fandom? Because I work very hard on these, and I'm just wondering if they're SCP worthy. And I want personally, my fans of my channel, do they belong in the Foundation files or in the Foundation at all? Should they be part of the fandom, or will they ever be noticed by the SCP fandom? Since they're all, well, unique. But I'm just wondering, do they belong? Each one's different in terms of abilities and effect, and also personality, but also in the supernatural abilities, such as physical abilities and unexplainable abilities, such as effect on people. Because if you guys remember, I explained they're both by their names. They have more than just magical abilities, but I'll re-explain them. As we all know, SCP-244 is a pacifist and more gentle person, tries to be kind to everyone around him, kind of like an angel, or protects people who are in danger. But his main effect is how he affects people with tough decisions, such as like the cartoonish version of an angel on your shoulder or a devil on your right shoulder. That's how I picture SCP-245 and 2447. They affect people's decisions or actions. That's the short version. Recap and asking my fans if they are worth being called SCP or should be noticed by the fandom. But anyways, as we know, the more difficult version is SCP-2447 is a more aggressive but more protective of the brother. At the same time, does spark some, how do I explain, crazy decisions or more self-proclaimed decisions, which sometimes result into a code V or F. Haven't think of the name, but basically, if I remember correctly, I haven't explained what makes them extremely dangerous, that makes them part of the Foundation, which is still being worked on because I'm not sure how the fans of my channel will respond to this fact about the SCP that had them being placed in the Foundation in the first place. It wasn't just because of SCP-2446, which is a part of SCP-2445. Again, I should probably explain more about SCP-2446. So, I'm still working on him. Like, he's not even a complete SCP, but at the same time, he's sort of an extra factor that I have not fully thought out or have full detail on, except for a few main key things. It's like a darker side version of SCP-2445, or what I like to call a fallen angel. If you consider him an angel, you can consider how he acts. But SCP-2445 is like a remanifestation of how SCP-2445's condition was in the past when they were abused by their father. This is also a more aggressive side. It seems it was triggered when seeing his brother SCP-2447 about to be harmed again. Also, it's also the fact that what made SCP-2445 extremely dedicated to being kind to everybody and pacifist, no matter who they are or how they treat them. He doesn't care, because when first manifestation of SCP-2446 was actually the first time SCP-2445 actually killed anybody, and technically scarred SCP-2445 for the rest of his life, filling him with guilt. And SCP-2446 has a strange effect on SCP-2445 and people itself. Like the others, it has an oddly different effect on people. It inspires terror, fear, sudden drastic reactions when someone's in panic. But this is also the bad thing about him. When people are trying to hide when SCP-2446 forms, if I remind you, the protocol is to evacuate at all costs and stay out of his terror radius. Because anyone caught in his radius or detection radius is immediately killed on sight. No mercy. As you know, SCP-2446 has the highest body count, higher than 682, which is also why he's in the Foundation, to prevent this monstrosity from being released to the public. Because SCP-2446 is apparently formed from SCP-2445's body, like a transformation. Or what I did create is what SCP-244 remembers is the only time he saw SCP-2446 form from SCP-2445 was when his father was about to murder the shit out of him with a shotgun, and Brucey beat him the same way he did to his brother SCP-2445, which triggered a total meltdown and the formation of SCP-2446, which is extremely violent to anything and all around it, except for SCP-2447. And this only seems to appear for a certain amount of time before SCP-2445 fully comes back to normal. But after a while, he has not shown up. What's strange is because the only thing that we triggered SCP-2446 to emerge was SCP-2447 in extreme danger or something. Like I said, he's still working progress. But what the mystery is, he's all of a sudden SCP-2446 is appearing without something triggering him. So what's the cause? But anyways, each person varies in abilities. One is stronger and more physically strong. The other one is more tactical when it comes to combat. But again, I guess I'll tell you in the next video why they're so dangerous. But anyways, my point of this video is, do they belong in the SCP Foundation fandom? Should they be a file in the fandom? Or are they worth being mentioned as SCPs? If not, I'd really like to know what is it that should add that makes them acceptable SCPs. Because I really want to see these guys grow in the fandom. Because I feel confident that the Angel Boy and the Devil Boy and the Fallen Angel really will go great with the Foundation. I really like to know from the fandom, from the community, if they actually belong in the fandom. If they do, I will attempt to try to continue my series on them. But anyways, please comment down below if they belong or not. Or if you really want them in the fandom, please comment your thoughts of what they need to be acceptable SCP. Because I really want to improve them, and I really want to know if you guys accept them as SCPs or what needs worked on in their files. But please comment what you think and what would be the best to help them become SCP worthy to be part of the SCP Foundation fandom. Because I really want to see them grow in the fandom. So please comment down below what you think and what could help.